The health and peace are interrelated. In other words, there cannot be health without peace, and there cannot be peace without health. Tackling the pandemic and building resilience in fragile states required concerted international action at local, national, and global levels. As the humanitarian and economic toll of the COVID-19 pandemic continues to grow, so does the risk that the crisis will fuel new conflicts around the world while stunting prospects for resolving ongoing ones. For the first time since 1948-45, the entire world confronted by a common threat, regardless of nationality, ethnicity, or faith. A new social contract between people, government, private sector, civil society can tackle the roots of inequality with fair taxation on income and wealth, universal benefits and opportunities for one. The International Day of Yoga, for example, on 21st of June, will be marked at a time when COVID-19 pandemic the lives and livelihoods of people globally. Yoga is a practice that can be relevant to all ages, relevant to all cultures, irrespective of what socio-economic status people represent. It can be used to unite our complex and difficult world to promote not only healthy lifestyles, but to promote peace and security in the world. Our contemporary world is showing no signs of a decline in the intensity of violent conflicts, crime, displacement, and prevalence of a continued state of tension in many regions of the world. According to UN report in the year 2019 alone, about 55% of 358 political conflicts worldwide involve the use of violence. So now let us look into the contributions of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Whenever an individual goes through a spiritual bliss, he manifests a beautiful, peaceful life for him and everybody around him. If he is powerful enough, he moves the whole city and manifests the peace. He is more powerful, he moves the whole village or the whole country itself. If he is powerful enough, like incarnations, he can move the whole world and manifest peace for them. Understand, the individual's bliss is a source of the global peace in the level of Om, the microscopic and the macroscopic universe. Whatever level it may be, understand, whatever level it may be, the global peace is simply the byproduct of the individual peace. So now let us look into a beautiful video discourse where Swamiji explains about peace, how the individual peace leads to global peace.
Social answer means I'll tell, oh, you should all work for global peace. You should all work for turning the world. You should work for revolution. You should work for all these, that things. You should vote only the party which says that it will stop the war and all these things. This is the social answer. Nonsense. If you want the honest answer, I tell you, simply transform yourself. You can't do anything. If at all you can do, you would have done it. Be honest. If you can do, you would have done it. You are raising this question because you are not able to do. Am I right? So let us be very clear. Let us be honest. We are not able to do socially. That's the truth. That's the reason you are sitting here and raising the question. I tell you, understand few important things. There are a lot more attached to this question. There are many things which is attached to this question. We always feel the present is the world is totally spoiled. It is not going according to the rules or how it is supposed to be. It was wonderful once upon a time. In ancient time, things were going properly, everything was well and great. And I tell you, 10,000 years ago, they found some writings on stone in Harappa Mohenjo-daro culture. Some stone writings have been discovered. The other day I read a beautiful book, writings. That writings, it says, oh, nowadays the society is not as it should be. So much of war, there is no peace. In the early times, there was so much of peace. Society was really great. Things were as it should be. And it almost looks like a today newspaper editorial. 10,000 years ago, the same thing carved on a stone. Then understand, there was no such time as only good prevailed. It is just a fantasy. Hinduism, they call it Satya Yuga, the age of truth. There was a time only truth prevailed. And every religion, Christianity, they say the Garden of Adam and Eve. There was a time everything was wonderful. Every religion has got the fantasy. The past was great. There was golden past. Always the idea of golden past exists only in the past. The more you go back, again you say the past was great. And I tell you one thing, it is a wonderful way of postponing accepting the reality. Otherwise, I can be sure the world was same as it is today. Whether it is 5,000 years ago or 10,000 years ago. Maybe one thing, there was no CNN channel that time. So the news did not reach you so quickly. That's all. The news did not reach you so quickly. That may be the only difference. But otherwise, I can be sure the good and the bad was equal. Good and the bad was equal. The same amount of wars were there. All the other things were there. If you read the Puranas, the mythological stories of India, you see enough of things. Enough of dirty things. I think sometimes I find a little more. And if you read completely the Puranas or the Hindu scriptures, there are a lot of things much worse than modern day. The criminal activities or bad things or negative things, whatever you say, all this stuff. And never think only present day is corrupted or violent. In the ancient days also, all these things were there. Only one thing was not there, the CNN news or the internet. So the news did not reach you. But otherwise I can tell you, enough the good and bad was there. It always will exist. It will exist. All you can do is, if you awaken yourself, if you reach the enlightenment state, you can go beyond it. And I tell you, enlightenment is the only service you can do to the society. Just become enlightened so that you will reduce the negativity. Now, as of now, you are also the part of negative group. Naturally, we will be a negative group. As long as we are unenlightened, we will be the part of collective negative consciousness. So if you become enlightened, at least you will reduce your weight. That's the only thing we can do. Nothing else can be done. So all I request you to do is just become enlightened. Realize that you are a lion. That's the only way to help yourself and the society. Otherwise, all revolutions, you see, all revolution again end up as one more tradition. In last 2000 years, 3000 wars have happened in the humanity. In 2000 years, 3000 wars. Human beings have not done anything except doing wars, except fighting. Everybody claims he wants to do revolution. He wants to spread peace. You see, every country claims their army is a defensive army. Then who is offending? Tell me. Every country says defensive army. Then who is offending? These are all just, games. The idea of peace is a pure game. Everybody wants to spread the peace according to them, not according to the other person. They want peace according to them. The other day I was in one interreligious gathering. Why don't you convert to my religion so that we will not have fight? He wants peace the way in which he wanted, not the way in which. And there's a beautiful saying, the sword of Muhammad, it is written, peace alone should survive, something like that. He has written some statement about the peace on the sword. We all take sword to spread the peace. So no revolution is going to help, because in the last 2000 years, 3000 revolutions have happened, but still world is same, I think much worse. So no revolution is going to help, only individual evolution is going to help. So be very clear. Instead of working in the outer world, start working in the inner world. That will help you and society some way. Social answer means I'll tell, oh, you should all work for.
Listen carefully. The space of Shanti, the space of Shanti is where Kailasa grows. Listen carefully. It is in the deep powerfulness of peace, or peace-centered powerfulness is the ground, breeding ground for Paramashivatva to manifest. Please understand. Like how pure mirror reflects everything, pure Shanti-based Shakti, peace-based powerfulness reflects Paramashiva. Paramashiva manifests in peace-based powerfulness. Please understand. Neither violence nor powerlessness. Powerlessness is weakness. Violence is abusive. Peace-centered powerfulness, powerfulness-centered peace. All the Upanishads starts with peace, completes with peace. Shanti mantra starts with Shanti mantra, gets completed with Shanti mantra. Peace-based powerfulness is a fundamental requirement for Paramashivatva to manifest. That is why people who don't want us to manifest Paramashivatva or power manifestation do not want to allow the peace in our life, or do not want peace in our campus. Understand? But only if you are peaceful, which cannot be shaken even by the demons and devils and rakshasas, we can be in eternal peace. So, remember this very clearly. Peace alters the very DNA structure, genetic structure, the core Anu Mahat structure. Understand? Anoraniyan Mahato Mahiyan. The consciousness in you is atom inside the atom, Mahat more than Mahat. That Anoraniyan Mahato Mahiyan. That consciousness starts growing in you with more and more peace-based powerfulness developing in you. Nothing can be compared to unclutching. Spend more and more time, energy in unclutching. It will never be wasted. Time spent on unclutching is the most productive time for you in your life, because unclutching completely makes you altogether a different material. Understand? It makes your very biomemory, muscle memory, core structure, molecular structure, genetic structure, DNA structure, everything, all the 8 energy flow circuits, 7 energy flows, 1 the pure conscious explosion. So totally 8 energy flow circuits exist in you. All the 8 explodes when you unclutch. Understand? Unclutching is the space of Sri Kailasa. Listen carefully. Every chanting, every prayer in Hinduism ends with Shanti, Shanti, Shanti 3 times. Means peace, peace, peace. Hinduism is the real religion. Loving peace, living peace. Individual level, social level, global level. Understand? Hinduism lost all its 56 nations, 200 states, 10,000 kingdoms, samsthanas, is not a loss to Hinduism, it is a loss to planet Earth, human beings. Wherever Hinduism is practiced, kept alive, the ideal of global peace is kept alive. Just do this one simple statistics. You yourself study. Google and study. Take the top 10 religions and list how many people they converted in last 200 years, how many people they killed. List for each religion. I can be 200% sure you yourself will realize Hinduism is the most peace-loving and peace-living religion, neither conversion nor terrorism. Neither conversion nor terrorism. Being the supreme pontiff of the most peace-loving, peace-living religion, I give you all my blessings on this International Peace Day. Understand? It is we Hindus need to keep the global peace as a living possibility, and we need to make this global peace as reality. Just talking about global peace will not work. Working for global peace only is the responsibility of the real living Hindu. Anyone who wants to claim themselves as a Hindu or practicing Hindu should work for global peace. Global peace is our responsibility. Every chanting, every prayer in Hinduism ends with Shanti, Shanti, Shanti 3 times. Means peace, peace, peace. Hinduism is the real religion. Loving peace, living peace. Individual level, social level, global level. Understand? Hinduism lasts all its 56 nations, 200 states, 10,000 kingdoms, samsthanas, is not a loss to Hinduism, it is a loss to planet Earth, human beings. Wherever Hinduism is practiced, kept alive, the ideal of global peace is kept alive. Just do this one simple statistics. You yourself study. Google and study. Take the top 10 religions and list how many people they converted in last 200 years, how many people they killed. List for each religion. I can be 200% sure. You yourself will realize Hinduism is the most peace-loving and peace-living religion. Neither conversion nor terrorism. Neither conversion nor terrorism. Being the supreme pontiff of the most peace-loving, peace-living religion, I give you all my blessings on this International Peace Day. Understand? It is we Hindus need to keep the global peace as a living possibility, and we need to make this global peace as reality. Just talking about global peace will not work. Working for global peace only is the responsibility of the real living Hindu. Anyone who wants to claim themselves as a Hindu or practicing Hindu should work for global peace. Global peace is our responsibility. Every chanting, every Hindus have the responsibility to bring global peace. So you can also throw a challenge. See, if you are making a Hindu micronation, you can throw this challenge to each one. Your friends, family, 10 people. Let them participate in the challenge and then create. Let them send a challenge to others. So I welcome all the living and practicing Hindus to become founding fathers of Kailasa micronation in your countries. You can also make a challenge, like how they made ice bucket challenge and all that. We can make a challenge. You form Hindu micronation and claim, I am the founding father of the Hindu micronation Kailasa. And then you can invite your family, friends for a challenge, 11 people. You form and you challenge 11 people and they also farm and they spread. So let us start spreading. This project is my message on this International Day of Peace. Let us start working for global peace instead of just talking. What the work we do will talk for us. The talk we do will not work for us. This is the message. The work we do will, the talk we do will not work for us. Global peace is the responsibility of Hindus. We living, practicing Hindus, not only we should achieve the individual peace through unclutching yoga meditation. We should also create an ecosystem where the global peace starts manifesting. This Kailasa Hindu micronation is the enlightenment ecosystem. I request every living practicing Hindu to manifest, do it. So the global peace can manifest from these Kailasa Hindu micronations all over the world. Hindus have the responsibility
You have this opportunity to join our COVID care protection centers. You can register through the link below, kailasa.org/Kailasa Care. KAILASA.org/KAILASACARE. So let's take a few minutes to join our COVID care protection center, kailasa.org/Kailasa Care, for you to experience inner peace from which we are going to manifest sustainable and equitable world and peace prevailing through the world. The sovereign order of Kailasa, led by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasanidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, and the Nithyananda order of monks, nuns, and the entire Hindu diaspora. They are all working for the global peace and to give a super conscious breakthrough to the humanity. It is the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's mission to revive a conscious world where the global issues at the climatic, economic, social, health, and humanitarian levels cease to exist from their very root, turning the problems of poverty, hunger, violence, discrimination into powerful living through the experience of oneness. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been working from the very grassroots levels to achieve at all levels, individual, societal, national, and global. His deep insights into the working of the human mind, body, emotions have enabled him to powerfully address various social and emotional problems facing humanity today. Some of the ways that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism provides spiritual solutions to combat the pandemic and other issues. Since beginning of the global lockdown, the amount of contributions and activism of Kailasa has increased multifold. To the Paramashivoham program, bringing super conscious breakthrough to the whole humanity by starting the Akanta Nirvikalpa Samadhi Jnana Yajna and contributing almost 3 million minutes now. Paramashiva chanting, which is 24/7 Zoom sessions to chant the Sanskrit mantra to heal the world. Spiritual healing that is being offered to one and all 24/7, helping humanity cope up with the insecurity, fear, disease by empowering individuals to heal themselves, learn to cope up with emotions like depression and tough situations in relationships, providing alternative solutions to worldly problems through power manifestation, initiating thousands of people every day into manifesting innate superhuman capabilities in Kailas courtyard sessions, providing healthy solutions like technique to clear the stomach from Ayurvedic solutions, which ultimately give you clear spiritual truths and help you to manifest conscious breakthrough. In long term, establishing self-sufficient communities, continuously and intensifying the service of Annadan, which is free food, in Kailasa's Nithyananda Annalayas around the world, including Tiruvannamalai and Los Angeles, paving way with the new world order, starting the agriculture-based communities in Adi Kailash and several other locations. Peacekeepers of Kailasa offering various life solutions from the teachings of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Offering Maheshwara Puja to the natural calamities hit victims. Then we have Bhava Samadhi Darshan to raise the individual consciousness to experience a super conscious breakthrough. And we have Devi Parashakti Akashic readings. We also have Sundareshwara Bhava Samadhi Darshans that's being continuously offered to all the viewers, all the Hindu diaspora today, for us to experience inner peace and therefore manifest the global peace and a super conscious breakthrough for the entire humanity. Now let us look into the spiritual solutions that is being offered towards COVID-19. The society was created with delusional ideas of too many human beings, blind spots, and decisions made from those blind spots. If the visionary of the civilization or a country or a nation has blind spots, when he develops the vision for it, the whole civilization suffers those blind spots forever. Now, it is a time that nature, Prakriti, resets itself. Many of the blind spots based visions, ideas become important components of the society. This pralaya, which is happening, is melting down. Everything which is delusion based, the world as we know is gone. Let us celebrate God in this moment. This isolation, which seems to be endless with an unknown future, which is compelling humanity to make 100% lifestyle change, that is something very deeply dwelt upon. All the problems need to be addressed only with the spiritual solutions and powerful cognitions. To stop people from having mental breakdown, pandemic fatigue, collapsing, depression, destruction, and also to give them the super conscious breakthrough and revive the enlightened civilization, Swamiji is continuously giving spiritual solutions and powerful cognitions to one and all. Now, let us look into what are the different spiritual solutions and powerful cognitions that the Kailasa has offered to the world during this pandemic. So, number one, it is unclutching, then practicing completion, practicing or connecting with oneness capsules, practicing Ajapa Japa of Mahavakya, which is Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Then consciously building deep feeling connection with Guru. Then we have yoga, puja, vegetarian diet, nirahara samyama, and many more. It is time that we take responsibility to save humanity, to protect people from pandemic fatigue and destruction. Let's try to enrich and enrich people for every one of these great spiritual solutions. Open this link and start sharing with as many people as possible. tinyurl.com/unclutching-info, where you have so much of information available on how you can unclutch from all the delusional ignorance that each one of us are suffering because of this pandemic. It is free and open for all. Let us all take few minutes now and share with as many people as possible. Let us save the world. Let us give them this experience of unclutching, Nirvikalpa Samadhi initiation, and save the world from pandemic fatigue, destruction and delusion, Maya matrix. Help people to have super conscious breakthrough and sail through this pralaya. Let's take few minutes to share about the unclutching, the Nirvikalpa Samadhi initiation with one and all to help them from overcoming the pandemic delusional ignorance and arrogance.
And let us see what is Kailasa's mission of global peace and superconscious breakthrough all about. The life solutions based on the ancient Hindu tradition, the meditation and yoga techniques from the scriptures, the cognitions rooted in the highest truths, the lifestyle based on living and radiating the values of life and realizing one's ultimate potential form the teachings of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, which by their inherent nature provide the foundation for peace on planet Earth. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism launched the Minutes for Peace initiative, which aimed to reduce crime globally by mass meditations around the world in parallel. In 2014, just after 2 years of launching the program, it crossed over 1 billion minutes of meditation. Scientific studies have shown a reduced crime rate after participation in the meditation and completion techniques. In 1976, it was found that when 1% of a community practiced meditation, the crime rate was reduced by 16% on average. The current tally on the Minutes for Peace initiative is more than 4.3 billion cumulative minutes of meditation logged, including all the events, programs, festivals where people have gathered in large numbers and participated in meditations and rituals. The total count comes to a staggering 409 billion minutes for peace so far. About 5,000 devotees gathered and participated in a 4-day meditation program called Shuddhadvaitam. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has hosted Kumbh Mela USA in Los Angeles since 2007. The Nithyananda Sangha is entrusted as the only organization. Basically, Kailasa was the only organization, the only nation to host the Kumbh Mela outside India and this was authorized, approved, and the head of the Akhil Bharatiya Akhada Parishad himself personally thanked and appreciated the efforts of Kailasa to take the prestigious, largest congregation of people called the Kumbh Mela all the way to the west to the United States of America. In September 2006, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism organized the first confluence for world peace to honor the memory of those who lost their lives, saving others on September 11, 2001 at Irvine, California, USA. The second confluence for peace was held in Los Angeles in 2007 in collaboration with Vedanta Society, BAPS, ISKCON, Siddha Yoga, and other organizations. The Kumbh Mela festival spread fast to other countries, including Australia, Canada. In 2009, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism organized a month-long peace walk covering 1,000 kilometers and 1,000 villages to bring together in harmony from all walks of life, to promote feeling, connection, and oneness among the people. During the walk, health camps were conducted in villages along the paths, and the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism conducted large-scale collective meditations on September 21st, which is the International Peace Day. This was all done to raise the collective consciousness on planet Earth. And sannyas, or the monastic order, is an extremely important component because sannyas is our social responsibility, and the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has declared in his for all Hindus to save Hinduism and humanity by taking up sannyas, the monastic order of Kailasa. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has revitalized the monastic tradition of sannyas by initiating hundreds of people into the Nithyananda monastic order, which is one of the very, very prestigious and exalted orders of the sovereign order of Kailasa. The all-renouncing monks and nuns contribute the best things to human civilization, living their life with the cognition life is for others. These monks and nuns act as harbingers of peace and empowerment for the human society distraught with violence, depression, and other forms of life negativity. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has also revived the very important ancient practice of embarking on pilgrimages. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has revived this ancient practice of spiritual journeys called yatras, taking spiritual aspirants to high energy sacred spots like the Himalayas, Kailash, Varanasi, Angkor Wat in Cambodia, and various powerful temples of India. Even though prevalent in India, this practice is rapidly losing its original context, turning into a recreational family vacation. Reviving the original spiritual context, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has made it possible for modern day human beings to benefit from the spiritual energy present at these centers and accelerate their journey of spiritual evolution, hence ensuring individual and collective peace as a natural consequence. We should understand the implications of food systems, not only in the regular times, which itself is an important aspect, but especially in the time of this COVID-19 pandemic. Food systems really hold the key to ending world hunger. The effects of the COVID-19 pandemic, the UN has noted a dramatic increase in world hunger. According to the State of Food Security and Nutrition in the world, 1/10 of the global population, as many as 811 million people, were undernourished in 2020, an increase of 118 million from 2019. According to the EAT Lancet Commission, moving toward diets with a diversity of plant-based foods, low amounts of animal source foods, unsaturated rather than saturated fats, and limited amounts of refined grains, highly processed foods, and added sugars could prevent between 19 and 24% of all adult deaths each year. And the No Hunger Project, the Red O, launched by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam, what that entails is, through annalayas or food donation centers, the de facto spiritual embassies of Kailasa worldwide, under the guidance of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, have served over 2 million organic, sattvic, vegetarian meals so far. Giving free food to all the citizens is the economic policy of Kailasa, deriving the reference from Vedas and the Agamas. And coming to the Kailasa's COVID care centers, recently the humanitarian initiative launched by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the opening of Kailasa's COVID care centers in India, where the monastery campuses have been turned into multi-layer quarantine facility to safeguard the inmates against any possible point in the world. As we have all been watching the readings, the Akashic readings given by Bhagwan Sundareshwara, Erayanar Sundareshwara, and Devi Parashakti, continuously reminding us and telling us in clear words, clear directions and guidance that the COVID-19 pandemic and its variants, the variations are still not out of this planet, many of them being human induced and not really so-called natural. Until that pandemic subsides or is eliminated from this planet, it is a very, very dangerous, precarious situation for humanity where one really needs to protect oneself from this pandemic. And hence, this multi-layer quarantine facility for the COVID care centers have been opened in all the de facto spiritual embassies of Kailasa across India, basically to provide one's protection from the exposure to the already fast spreading contagious virus and variants of the COVID-19, of the coronavirus. And this multi-layer quarantine facility, as we'll be seeing shortly again, has all the facilities for protecting one from unnecessary contact with the risk of the outer world transmitting this virus, and also an extremely spiritual, enlightenment-oriented ecosystem in which one can grow spiritually and get rooted in the fundamentals of life. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has opened this service free to all people, regardless of any difference in age, gender, caste, creed, ethnicity, color, or socio-economic status. Food, shelter, internet, and all basic facilities, including medical care, are provided at these COVID care centers free of cost and for an indefinite time. The outcome has been a splendid zero infection rate so far among participants, a feat not achieved anywhere else in the world, let alone in India. This response model of handling the COVID 19 pandemic at a community level, along with guidelines and recommendations for governments, has been recognized and accepted by the United Nations as well. And one can see here glimpses of the COVID care center participants enjoying life at Adi Kailash, one of the de facto spiritual embassies of Kailasa. And here the participants of the program are enjoying a healthy, blissful, and spiritual lifestyle in the multi-layer protection, as one can see, veiling the facilities at the temple, being in the energy field of the temple, doing their morning yoga, puja, and the spiritual routine which grounds one into the blissful lifestyle and enjoying a stress-free time following a spiritual morning routine, doing the yoga in the Brahma Muhurta, which is extremely beneficial to building for oneself a yogic body, the daily puja and the temple seva, the participants being able to participate in the temple activities, doing various temple worship rituals like the alankaram, the puja, the homa, the abhishekam, the parayanam, or the chanting of the mantras, and the karaseva, where participating in the daily activities of the adinam and various cultural festivities also being celebrated. For example, the Varalakshmi Puja at Adikailasa, the female devotees offering puja to goddess Lakshmi and listening to the Mahima, and the Ganesha Brahmotsavam celebrated with a lot of fervor and participation and enthusiasm, welcoming Ganesha, the remover of all obstacles, and participants having literally a blissful time, both entertaining, entraining, and enlightening as they make and carve with clay various forms of Ganesha. And if let's take a few more minutes now to register ourselves for this COVID Care Protection Center. If you have not done already, do take a few minutes now. All you need to do to enroll yourself in center is register now through the link https://kailasa.org/ which is https://kai.org/KAILASACARE. Let's take a few minutes now to register ourselves through this link. on to move on to the next segment, where let us listen to why temples are so important. What is the science of temples, and why every single de facto spiritual embassy of Kailasa is centered around temples, all of them being temple based enlightenment ecosystem to what the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, has to reveal to us about the science of temples. But you know, And now let's move to the revelations to the world by Devi Parashakti. 12th May 2021. Devi said, they have to live, it has to flower. Few hypocrites, because they're stuck in delusion. We cannot sacrifice the world. Cosmos cannot be destroyed. The ship I did to save Cosmos from being destroyed. That is called Adi Kailasa. The ship I did to protect beings from Pralaya is Adi Kailasa. Because of conspiracy of Drohis and enemies' rule, the captain has to leave the ship. Before 12 years, knowing the great deluge that is going to happen, all Aushadas, by this Guru Purnima, the Jnana Rasavadam, Navapashana is going to flower. Allow people to come and take dip in Navapashana flower. People who ever come and dip in Vaidisa river, they will not have deaths. They will not have corona. Crores and crores of people will come in line. Every day they will come and dip in Anandalingam. Devi went on to tell, listen well to my words. For India, I made ship as protection. The Nithyananda Navapashana Lingam in Vaidisarovar. Go to Adi Kailasa. O Indians, listen. All those regretting losing Nithyananda Nijavatara without confusion and without talking just as lip service, go to Adi Kailasa. Crores of people will come there looking for help, Navapashana water feast, and medicine, and protection, and enlightenment. To protect India from the great destruction, I, Parashakti, made this huge ship. Even if captain is not there, ship is there. Whoever comes to Adi Kailasa and does the good work of saving people from the deadly corona, I myself will do all of their life work. This is a commitment Paramasakti is giving you all. Parameshwari, I will do what I say. To save people from corona, Devi went on 19th May. She revealed, I have set up a huge ship, Ananda Sarovar, Vaidya Sarovar, and Ananda Lingam. I have made it in Adi Kailasa. Go there, take water every day, worship Ananda Lingam. Water, turmeric, milk, and neem rasam showered on Navapashana are the medicine for this. The doors of Adi Kailasa will be open for all those who come with trust. It will protect. It will protect body and will give conscious health. It will also give highest powers. Dharma, Artha, Moksha, Jnana, powers, Kama, and the God beyond Kama. Adi Kailasa life will give. 31st May, she went on. The hell of Kirimi Bhojanam, mentioned by Vyasa in Garuda Purana, has opened and is directly falling on India as thunder. Running to Adi Kailasa and preventing it is the only way. I have opened Adi Kailasa for those who want to save their lives. All of you run to Adi Kailasa. 18 June, Devi said, for saving your life, go to Adi Kailasa. Best life is there. Before corona takes your life away, go to Adi Kailasa and save your life. 5th July, Devi repeated, the soil of Adi Kailasa is the Sarva Roga Nivarani, cure for all diseases, for all the diseases in the world. Paramashakti, myself, taking the form of Nithyananda as Nijavatara, walking there barefoot for many years, manifesting all powers. The very soil was converted into great medicine that solves all karmas. Taking the soil of Adi Kailasa and mixing it with the water of Navapashana Linga of Vaidya Sarovar, and by applying it, all pains will vanish, breaking the attachment to body. It will make you enlightened. Goodness is there. I told the truth. Go to Adi Kailash. And today, as the first world countries close their borders during a massive global emergency, Kailasa is the only nation that has opened its doors to all without exception. The free COVID care centers opened across India, across the various de facto spiritual embassies of Kailasa, including Adi Kailas in Birgi, Bangalore, Salem Adinam, Tiruvannamalai Adinam, Rajapalayam Adinam in Tamil Nadu, Puduvai Adinam in Puducherry, Pattanam Adinam in Tamil Nadu, Sirakapadi Adinam in Tamil Nadu, Sripuram Adinam in Hyderabad, Madurai Adinam in Tamil Nadu, Avattipalayam Adinam in Tamil Nadu, Hosur Adinam in Tamil Nadu, Baroda Adinam in Gujarat. Kailasa rushes to aid India as India finds itself on the verge of COVID-19 third wave. Multiple COVID care centers have been opened across India. Various social services have been offered during this pandemic in Kailasa's de facto spiritual embassies across India. Spiritual services offered during the pandemic in Kailasa's de facto spiritual embassies and cosmic revelations on the global pandemic to help to support each and every one to tide over this deadly pandemic. The free humanitarian services offered during this pandemic in the de facto spiritual embassies across India include medical care in the form of allopathy, Ayurveda, and Siddha medicine, infrastructure to accommodate thousands, accommodation for multi-layered quarantine, emergency ICU and wheels, personal protective medical activity management through food banks, and organic farming. And if you've not already registered, let us take a few minutes now to join the COVID Care Protection Center by registering now. All you need to do is register at https://kailasa.org/kailasa care. Let's take a few minutes now to register ourselves at this link.
most easiest, most powerful, most inspiring, most exciting way to connect with life as the form of mother. Navaratri is the time to connect with Cosmos as mother. Celebrate Cosmic Mother. This 9 days we worship Mother, worshipping Divine Feminine.
यादुमागे निंद्राय काली ओम काली ओम शक्ति ओम काली ओम शक्ति ओम शक्ति ओम शक्ति ओम शक्ति
There are some gods, 9 unknown gods. The moment you call, they will be there. Venkateshwara, Balaji. I tell you, people give so much for Venkateshwara because he does the job. He's the 9 unknown god. There's a village folk story where Venkateshwara borrows from Kubera for his marriage and he's still paying the debt. Venkateshwara takes the responsibility of reserve to reserve. This whole story, beautiful story of Venkateshwara is an amazing concept. He is making Yaksha into Lakshmi. He is making the reserve to reserve. It's an amazing truth.
Here is the Australia Kailasa. How can I be so lucky and have a happy life in Kailasa? It's a long story. My name is Li Qi. My guru is His Divine Holiness Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam. Since I was very little, I already wonder what life for. I really want to know the result, the reason. A long time ago, I think if I earn enough money, I will be very happy person, and then life is for happy. I tried to earn money, and then I'm really rich, but money didn't give me happy. Then I tried to get the happy life in romantic love. Then the really romantic love take me go lots of place. Too many stories during this time. I still don't feel I get the result, get the life reason. Then I start study from video, from religion, many different way. And when I study Buddha, that time I really appreciate Buddha gives so much intelligence to me about life. But I don't think study is enough for me. I want to be Buddha. But I don't know how. Who can let me get there? One day I found the video in YouTube, introduced Swamiji in that video. I suddenly, my eyes open wide. I get it. He must be my guru. I can get there. He can let me get what I want to know. And he can take me home real kind of feeling. Then I start study from Nithyananda Sangha. One day, Swami Jisasang said he need people devote land, home, money to build up Kailasa. Then I discussed with my husband, decide to give the whole farm to Nithyananda. That time, because both of us believe help Swamiji means help whole world. It's a big decision, but we just discussed so short time already. Done, decide. I really appreciate my husband love me so much and believe me, trust Swamiji so much. Soon here will be big temple, Gurukul, Goshena, and library. Introduce this my story to you, just me. Don't give up any chance to be founding father of Kailasa. It's best thing you can do in your life.
Just be 3 years. Don't die within next 3 years. Just don't die within next 3 years. Be alive. Somehow be alive. I'm working sincerely. I will reach you somehow. Somehow I will reach you. It's my commitment to humanity. Just don't die within the next 3 years. I will reach you wherever you are, whichever corner of the world you may be. I will reach you with enlightenment. You manifesting the space, state, powers, being Paramashivoham. It is possible, and it is possible for you. Paramashivoham will reach you with enlightenment science. I know he is going to do the job. Just be alive for next 3 years. Nothing else.
We get you health. We get you ability to build beautiful relationships in your life. We get you direct spiritual support, and we make sure you become wealthy. We won't stop giving you just good life. We will literally not stop till you live enlightened life. Manifesting the state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva, being of Paramashiva. Whole world should become e-Kailashian.
I want the whole world to know Hindus have something great to contribute to the world. We have something great to contribute to the world. Let us do that.
E-Kailasa is proper customized spiritual service helping you to identify your root patterns of suffering. We have perfected the science of helping every individual from every cultural, religious, nationality background. You will have lowest reactionaryism, yes, awakened response, alive response for life continuously. E-Kailasa is enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself in your own home, wherever you are.
Dear viewers, now we have a very special and exciting announcement for everyone. We will be having the live Bhava Samadhi Darshan of Irinava, and it will be starting very shortly. So let us prepare ourselves to receive Bhagavan Sundareshwara. And you can also take some time now to join as a member of Kailasa's HDH Nithyananda YouTube channel. And once you join, you can ask your questions in the comment section during the live Paramashiva Sayuja Samadhi Darshan of Bhagavan Sundareshwara. And he will directly attend to you, will directly see these comments and questions, prayer requests, boon requests, anything that you request, Bhagavan Sundareshwara will surely attend to you in every way. So let us understand who is Bhagavan Sundareshwara and what is the Paramashiva Sayuja Samadhi Darshan. So Bhagavan Sundareshwara has been manifesting the superconscious, this Supreme Quantum of Hinduism is manifesting the superconscious experience of the Shiva Sayuja Samadhi Darshan of Bhagavan Sundareshwara Paramashiva. And Bhagavan Sundareshwara is the most rare and unique, powerful form of Paramashiva. And today you will have the most beautiful initiation into the God equation to make human beings into multiverse species by Bhagavan Sundareshwara himself. And in the words of Bhagavan Sundareshwara describing himself, I will manifest his physics describing himself.
Shave, shave, shave. Paramashiva, I will manifest the physics of my existence. Cognize this in your Hridaya Akasha, in the Gandha. You will experience my existence. Sundareshwara Paramashiva. The countless, uncountable by any visualized, assumed mathematics, Brahmandas manifest in me, exist in me, get rejuvenated in me, get deluded inside me, gets liberated inside me. For all the countless Brahmandas to exist, to get created, to get sustained, to get rejuvenated, to get deluded, to get liberated. I am the space.
And Bhagavan Sandrishta has described so beautifully about himself. Now let us experience Bhagavan Sandrishta and understand more about who he is. First, let us understand what is happening in the world today. As many of us know, the ongoing climate change crisis has left many, many communities devastated due to natural disasters and, of course, the ongoing pandemic, which is on everybody's and the many other things have been happening in the world. Of course, because of the ongoing natural disasters, the pandemic, and more, many families have been affected, many communities have been affected, and the economy has completely collapsed. Many people have fallen into poverty. Many people have lost their loved ones during this time. And according to the United Nations, a scientific report for the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change warns that we are on a crash course towards catastrophe if global temperatures are allowed to rise. And the window to slow or even halt some of these worsening impacts is rapidly closing. And the message is clear. We must take action now. And of course, Devi Parashakti has revealed that the world will be experiencing the effects of the climate change crisis, as well as the effects of sea levels rising. And the only place that is protected is Kailasa. Let's hear a little bit more about the climate change crisis that is ongoing.
In 2019, fire was spreading throughout our planet, quite literally, in places like Australia and the Amazon basin, where forest blazes supercharged by climate change wreaked havoc. In other places, mass protests flared up, fueled by a combination of job insecurity, growing inequalities, and discontent with the current economic, social, and environmental status quo. The economy has slowed down globally, stifled by trade tensions and political uncertainty. The little growth we have had has failed to reach those who need it the most. Progress towards higher living standards has stalled for many countries and vulnerable groups of people. This has only deepened inequalities which were already growing in many countries, spurred on by automation, climate change, and other global trends.
Of course, we've been hearing much about the climate change crisis for many years, and of course, over the past, compounded with the impact of this global pandemic, and has left so many people impoverished, without food, without shelter, and in deep suffering, losing their loved ones, losing their homes. And it is at this time that even we've experienced and heard so much about the COVID-19 cases, and nearly all of us have either personally been affected by this or know people who have been personally affected by this. And according to the World Health Organization, the total number of cases of COVID-19 is currently over 221 million to date. And according to Healthline.com, the new COVID-19 cases have risen to more than 150,000 per day in the United States alone. And this is despite there being so many attempts to prevent it, vaccinate people, lock down communities, but we are still experiencing this ongoing pandemic. And experts warn that with emerging variants, it could lead to another surge in cases. So this does not look to be ending anytime soon. Unfortunately, the world is experiencing great suffering at this time. And in this time of crisis, it is Bhagavan Sundareshwara who has come down with the extreme compassion for humanity, manifesting through the Nijavatara of the Supreme Concept of Buddhism. He states, "O bound souls, listen intensely. Your impossibility and irresponsibility made you surrender yourself to the delusion. Cognize the ultimate truth. Sundareshwara Paramashiva, I exist. Sundareshwara Paramashiva, I exist. The moment you remember me, call me. I am here for you." And this is the exact experience of all the devotees and disciples of Bhagavan Sundareshwara, whether it was 5,000 years ago when he walked the streets of Madurai, or even today when he is manifesting through the Ninja Avatar of the Supreme Concept of Hinduism. People just feel he is there for him and has been attending to their every need. Iriyana Sundareshwara Paramashiva is the greatest and unique manifestation of Paramashiva as the complete manifestation. He assumes the physical, subtle, light bodies as and when he wants and plays with all the physical realities and corrects, alters, intervenes, influences, changes, adds, removes, deletes anything in this physical plane as he likes without even a reason, just for fun. And sometimes they manifest as Meenakshi and Sundareshwara as two bodies and one being, but sometimes as both in one body. That's the reason all his manifestation plays are called Leelas. And due to his causeless and limitless compassion, Iriyanara Sundareshwara Paramashiva is manifesting in all his glory as the Purnavatara through this being, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, as the Nijavatara. And from the from the Shuddhatvaita Paramashiva Sayuja Samadhi space, Iriyanara Sundareshwara Paramashiva will be manifesting through this supreme manifestation. Iriyanara Sundareshwara Paramashiva will bless and give boons as the lead. Sundareshwara Paramashiva himself has come down again in the form of the supreme concept of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, as Swamiji, just to continue his legacy and Leela. And to continue being available to all the people, playing his divine Leelas, performing miracles in the lives of devotees, attending to our prayers, and continuing the legacy as the ruler of the whole of Madurai, Shyamala Pita Sarvakipita, as the 293rd Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam, the supreme concept of Hinduism, guiding the whole of humanity. And so many devotees and disciples have already shared their beautiful experiences with Bhagavan Sundareshwara about his majestic nature, about his Leelas, about their experience of miracles with Bhagavan Sundareshwara. When you witness the Bhava Samadhi Darshan, your neurons mirror that of the avatar. The mirror neurons activate and process all the observed movement or information of the avatar just by seeing. So our entire body, silently and without movement, recreates what is happening distances far away, experiencing the superconscious energy radiated by the avatar. As an effect, the mirroring neurons, all of the mirroring neurons, all the powerful cognitions and powers of Bhagavan Sundareshwara are mirrored inside of you. The supreme concept of Hinduism manifesting Bhagavan Sundareshwara, who has manifested Bhagavan Sundareshwara, has described, exhale intensely. Whatever you have, Paramashiva will inhale in you. This is the God equation. And the supreme concept of Hinduism has described nothing is more powerful than power manifestation science. It is the most exciting spiritual science. When you decide to manifest the powers and again, you know Paramashiva within you is within you and he is manifesting. You fall in love with Paramashiva every moment. If he manifests, you know he is real and he is manifesting. Even if you don't manifest, when you declare, you will manifest the jnana and the vijnana. the knowledge and the understanding. The possibilities and powers of Paramashiva will manifest in all of you. Let us understand who is the Supreme Concept of Hinduism. The Supreme Concept of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasanidanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, is the 293rd Jagat Guru Mahasanidanam of the Kailasana Shyamala Pita Satyapita, the very enlightenment ecosystem created by Bhagavan Sundareshwara himself, and is the reviver. The Supreme Concept of Hinduism is the reviver of Kailasa, a macrocosmic new civilizational nation. The Supreme Concept of Hinduism is the 1008th incarnation of Paramashiva as per Hinduism, and is recognized by his predecessors who are enlightened masters and adepts. The Supreme Concept of Hinduism has made the science of power manifestation, yoga, and temple-based universities as a lifestyle for humanity. And the Supreme Concept of Hinduism is the 233rd Guru Mahasanidanam of the Kanchi Kailasa Satyapita, the Tondei Mandala Adinam, is the incumbent emperor of the Suryavamshi Srangi Samarajam, is the present 293rd Jagat Guru Mahasanidanam of the Kailasona Shamala Pita Satyapita, and is the present Mahamandaleshwar of the Mahanirvani Pada, the largest apex monastic order. And here you can see the photos of the young avatar at just the age of 9 being ordained as the 233rd Guru Mahasanidanam of the Kanchi Kailasa Satyapita. And here the Supreme Concept of Hinduism as the incumbent emperor of the Suryavamshi Srangi Samarajam is performing the consecration and energization of the deities of Suryavamshi Srangi Samarajam. And here you can see the Supreme Concept of Hinduism himself being coronated as the incumbent emperor of the Suryavamshi Srangi Samarajam, and the procession and grand celebrations that took place for this coronation. And for Supreme Concept of Hinduism is the present 293rd Jagat Guru Mahasanidanam of the Kailasana Shyamala Pita Satyapita, which is the very ecosystem, the enlightenment ecosystem that Bhagavan Sundareshwara and Devi Meenakshi created thousands of years ago, and Tirunjana Samandar revived, and now the Supreme Concept of Hinduism at the 1008th incarnation of Paramashiva is once again reviving. And Supreme Concept of Hinduism is the present Mahamandaleshwar of the Mahanirvani Akada, and you can see him getting coronated as the Mahamandaleshwar by all the other monastic members of the Mahanirvani Akada. And the Supreme Concept of Hinduism is the 1008th Acharya Mahamandaleshwar of the Atalakada, is the present 23rd Guru Mahasanidanam of the Dharma Mukti Svarigapura Adinam, and has been elected Supreme Concept of Hinduism by a congregation of over 1,000 Hindu leaders. And here you can see the coronation of the Supreme Concept of Hinduism, the recognition of the Supreme Concept of Hinduism as the Supreme Concept of Hinduism, and by his contemporaries. And the Supreme Concept of Hinduism is also revered as the teacher of Hinduism, the most prolific, most viewed, read, and watched, and has authored over 300 books and 10,000 articles in English, Tamil, and Sanskrit, which have been translated into 50 languages with over 1,000 titles. The Supreme Concept of Hinduism has over 20 million copies of books and articles sold, read, and downloaded, and has over 10,000 hours of discourses delivered and available on YouTube for everyone to enjoy freely. And the Supreme Concept of Hinduism has enriched and reached over 1 billion lives digitally through Kailasa's digital nation. And the Supreme Concept of Hinduism is the foremost commentator of all sacred scriptures such as the Upanishads, the Bhagavad Gita, the Shiva Sutras, the Brahma Sutras, the Yoga Sutras, the Ashtavakra Gita, the Jain Sutras, and many more. Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is honored as the leader of Hinduism, the most awarded, internationally recognized Hindu leader, and is the reviver of 108 ancient Hindu sampradayas, including the Rudrakanyas, the Rudras, Rishis, Rishikas, Bhairavas, Bhairavis, and Sanyas, and is the establisher of the world's largest Hindu university, Kailasa's Nithyananda Hindu University, with emphasis in 150 countries. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the establisher of 1,000 plus Kailasa enlightenment ecosystem and the founder and reviver of over 100 Satvajnapeethas. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the collector of the largest Hindu library with over 1 million books, 1 million palm leaf scriptures, and 20 million digital books. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has created spiritual de facto embassies of Kailasa that have been enriching the world all across the globe. And this includes 22 Hindu universities, 186 extended campuses of NHU, 242 Nithyananda Gurukuls, 22 Nithyananda Jnanalayas, 38 temple monastery complexes, over 2,000 Paramashivoham shakas, over 1,800 19 kingdoms or Sarvajnapeethas, 25 e-Kailasas, and over 1,800 AST centers, as well as 120 temples, over 5,000 healing centers, 22 food banks, and 12 animal shelters, as well as 34 satsang temples, 418 Paduka mandirs, and over 2,000 satsang centers. And these are just the various embassies of Kailasa, spiritual de facto embassies of Kailasa, that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has created to enrich humanity, to bless them with this beautiful science of enlightenment and all of the various teachings of Hinduism. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has seen humanity one person at a time for the past 3 decades, and has done this through the Kalpataru Darshans as well as the daily avatar calls. He has attended to each individual being, and over the course of the last 2 decades, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has enriched and reached over 100 million people through the various darshans, programs, and daily avatar calls. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's peace walks have covered over 100,000 kilometers and have gifted the science of healing to 2 million plus people in human settlements thus far. So now, millions of people have been blessed with the science of healing and are actively healing people all over the world today as a part of the mission of Kailasa created by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Now let us understand a little bit more about who is Bhagavan Sundareshwara, who is manifesting through the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Hridayanara Sundareshwara Paramashiva is the manifestation of the beauty of the cosmos in flesh and bone. And he is known as the God of the beauty of the most beautiful God and the most beautiful form of Bhagavan Paramashiva. And Hridayanara Sundareshwara is the embodiment of super consciousness expressed in the human body, playing with all of his glory. And Hridayanara Sundareshwara Paramashiva is the complete manifestation of Paramashiva and has assumed the physical subtle light bodies as and when he wants as his divine manifestation. He plays with all the physical realities and corrects, alters, intervenes, influences, changes, adds, removes, deletes anything in the physical plane as he likes without even a reason. And Nithyananda Paramashiva is the greatest, most unique, and most complete manifestation of Paramashiva, who walked the earth thousands of years ago and blessed every single devotee. And now we are also blessed to have the same experience with Bhagavan Sundareshwara manifest through the Supreme Concept of himself. Sundareshwara is the embodiment of super consciousness expressed in the human body, playing with all his glory. He came down as the most handsome form of Paramashiva to marry Devi Meenakshi and administer the city of Madurai and the whole world, to bring peace and prosperity, list the whole world once again. Devi Meenakshi and Bhagavan Sundareshwara ruled from the city of Madurai and brought the bliss and prosperity to the entire world from Madurai. And the kingdom of Madurai is known as the Kailasonatha Shamala Pita Sarveshni Pita, the oldest Hindu papal state and enlightenment ecosystem, and it was established by Paramashiva. The kingdom of Madurai was later revived by Lord Sundareshwara and Devi Meenakshi, who, as the deities and incarnates of Paramashiva, ruled over Madurai, revived the foundation pillars of it as the highest living stream of spiritual sciences. And to ensure this tradition continues to elevate humanity for millennia, they enthroned their direct representatives and their divine energies in the form of the continuing lineage of living masters, the Guru Mahasannidhanam, with the responsibility to train and groom the kings in administration, constitution, governance, acting as regents. They also performed the spiritual initiation on the kings and the citizens of the kingdom, imparting the enlightenment science to them. And of course, we have Devi Meenakshi and Bhagavan Sundareshwara, who created this whole lineage of Kailasana Shamala Pita Satvika. And the incarnation himself, who revived this whole Satvika Pita, this enlightenment ecosystem. And now, finally, ultimately, the 1008th incarnation of Paramashiva himself, Swamiji, is once again reviving this whole enlightenment ecosystem to share the great science of enlightenment with the entire world. And the supreme discipline of the Adi Shaiva tradition has been coming down through the continuous lineage of the Guru disciple, the Adi Shaiva Guru Parampara, from time immemorial. This has been formulated for the attainment of complete liberation from the repeated phenomenon of birth and death. This is the supreme in its kind and concerned with the ultimate benefit of all the souls. The Kailasonatha Shamala Pita Sarvejna Pita's rare and sacred lineage of pontiffs has been systematically carried over in an unbroken progression from the ages. The chosen emissaries of Lord Paramashiva and Devi Meenakshi, the Guru Mahasannidhanam, the pontiffs of Kailasonatha Shamala Pita Sarvejna Pita, are the direct representatives of the cosmos itself. And on the 27th of April 2012, the Srila Shri Nithyananda Jnana Sambandha Deshika Paramacharya Swamigal was formally appointed as the 293rd Guru Mahasannidhanam of the Kailasonatha Shamala Pita and is the lawful successor, descendant, and the inheritor, invested with all the powers, duties, obligations to perform the rituals, the spiritual, religious, and customary rites vested in the Kailasonatha Shamala Pita Sarvejna Pita, and has been reviving its spiritual, religious, and linguistic epicenters to its original glory. And here you can see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism being crowned as the Guru Mahasannidhanam, the Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam of the Kailasonatha Shamala Pita Sarvejna. And now we can watch a short video on the Madurai Adinam, the Kailash, one of the Shamla Pita Satyakita, the enlightenment ecosystem that was created by Devi Meenakshi and Bhagavan Sundareshwara, which the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is reviving once again.
The ancient temple town of Madurai in southern India boasts of a 2,500-year-old history of spirituality. Historians trace Madurai's existence back to the 3rd century BC, making it one of the oldest continuously inhabited cities of the world. Legend says that Madurai was established by the cosmic mother herself, who incarnated as Princess Meenakshi, daughter of the pious king Malayadwaja Pandian. An able queen and a fearless warrior, Meenakshi expanded her empire right up to Kailash in current China. But when she came face to face with the Lord of Kailash, Shiva himself, she recognized him as her eternal consort and dropped her arms to become Shiva's companion for life.
Along with Shiva, also known as Sundareshwara or the beautiful Lord, Meenakshi reigned over her kingdom for a glorious 166 years.
In course of time, with the rise of Jainism as a religious force, Madurai too fell to its powerful influence, and Shaivism all but vanished from the sacred kingdom where Shiva himself had once walked the earth. The renaissance of Shaivism in Madurai was the sacred task of a child incarnation, Tirunjana Sambandar, one of the 4 visionary saints of Shaiva Siddhanta tradition. The story goes that as a baby, Tirunjana Sambandar was once nourished by the milk of enlightenment from the cosmic mother herself. This child prodigy arrived in Madurai to effortlessly defeat the learned Jain monks with his wisdom, healing powers, and spiritual prowess, and restored Madurai to her beloved religion, Shaivism, by reviving the ancient Madurai Adinam and the Meenakshi temple, which had fallen to desolate ruin. Madurai Adinam is today the world's oldest living Hindu organization, with a recorded history alone spanning a glorious 1,500 years and an unbroken lineage of illustrious pontiffs to this very day. Over the centuries, Madurai Adinam has been patronized by the likes of Tipu Sultan, Robert Nobili, and the poet saint Vallalar. The pontiff of the Madurai Adinam is known by the title Guru Mahasannidhanam and inherits the responsibility of carrying forward the traditions of Tirunjana Sambandar's sacred.
On 27th April 2012, a new era began in the history of Madurai Adinam. The 292nd Pontiff, Srila Sri Arunagirinath Jnana Sambandha Desika Paramacharya Swamigal, guided by intuition and inducement by Lord Shiva, coronated a charismatic young saint as the 293rd Pontiff of the Madurai Adinam.
An accomplished yogi, a pragmatic social visionary, and an adept in mystical sciences, His Holiness Paramahamsa Nithyananda is revered as a divine incarnation by millions worldwide. Within weeks of his ascent to the sacred throne, he brought about sweeping changes to the Adinam, including the renovation of the ancient monastery, Annadan, free food for thousands every day, free medical camps, yoga classes, scriptural study, spiritual healing, and meditation programs. The traditional Adinam now has a website, and thousands participate in the morning worship and spiritual talks via live streaming and two-way video conferencing. Vast properties belonging to the Adinam are being reclaimed from illegal encroachment. Its numerous temples are being restored to sanctity, and the neighboring villages are being adopted, with basic amenities, education, and medical care being provided for all. His Holiness dreams of an authentic Vedic Renaissance for which India has already waited too long.
Here, I take the commitment
of making Madurai Adinam as an international religious organization. We will fulfill all the responsibilities of Madurai Adinam, make Hindu tradition, Saiva tradition alive, revived, lived, celebrated all over the world.
With a brand new pontiff at its helm, Madurai Adinam promises to be more than just another traditional monastery. As a whole generation turns to spirituality for answers, the changes at Madurai Adinam mirror the changing role of spiritual organizations today as power centers and guiding forces, forging the enlightened government of the new world.
This is the history of the Kailasanath Shamana Pita Sarvati. And Bhagavan Sundareshwara Brahma has come down once again as the Supreme Concept of Buddhism. Today, for all of humanity, out of billions of people on planet Earth, we are the most blessed beings. Because for us, Bhagavan Sundareshwara is not a history, he is a happening. We get to experience it directly through Nijavatara, the supreme concept of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Maha Sannidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, as Swamiji, the 1008th incarnation of Paramashiva, to revive Hinduism once again and to continue being available to each and every one of us by playing his divine leelas, performing miracles to the lives of his devotees, attending to our prayers, and continuing the legacy as the ruler of the whole of Madurai Shamala Pita Satyapita and as the 293rd Jagat Guru Maha Sannidhanam of the Kailasanatha Shamala Pita Sarvatyapita and the supreme concept of Hinduism, guiding the whole of humanity. Paramashiva assumed the physical body 11 times in Madurai just to perform his divine leelas. Each action, divine energy performed becomes an independent entity. If you connect with that energy, he gives you the same blessing. Understand, Sundareshwara is the energy of leela, of playfulness. So now we will be entering into the preparation to receive Bhagavan Sundareshwara, to experience the grand leelas of Bhagavan Sundareshwara, to be a part of the happening of Paramashiva once again coming down as Bhagavan Sundareshwara through the Nijavatara of the Supreme Concept of Hinduism. So in just a few moments, we will be receiving Bhagavan Sundareshwara, and he will be gracing us at 10 p.m. IST. So do stay tuned for that, and ensure that you are getting you are receiving all of the blessings from Bhagavan Sundareshwara. You're receiving the answers for all your questions, your prayers, your boons directly from Bhagavan Sundareshwara by asking your questions in the comment section of the live video in YouTube. So it's a very simple process to do this. You can go to Kailasa's HDH Nithyananda YouTube channel and join as a member of this channel. And once you are a member, you will have not only the ability to comment, but also access to exclusive content as a member of Kailasa's HDH Nithyananda YouTube channel. And during the live Bhagavan Sundareshwara Paramashiva Sayuja Samadhi Darshan, you can ask your question, any request that you have from Bhagavan Sundareshwara, and he will directly see and attend to you. And Bhagavan Sundareshwara is known for all of his divine leelas, for the way that he attends to his devotees. So you can rest assured that you also will be attended. Bhagavan Sundareshwara has even taken the form of it has taken various forms in order to attend to his devotees, has blessed his devotees, he's given enlightenment to birds. He has taken the form of a pig just to feed the piglets, and he has taken the form of a woodcutter to attend to his devotees. He has brought to life a stone elephant. He has done so many leelas. He's fed the stone elephant. He is just full of leelas just to attend to his devotees, to give them the blessings and boons and attend to all of their prayers. So now you too will have the opportunity to experience all of the leelas of Bhagavan Sundareshwara by asking your questions, asking your prayer requests, asking for boons directly in the comment section of YouTube in the live video during the Bhagavan Sundareshwara Paramashiva Sayuja Samadhi Darshan. You can also ask your questions on Facebook. You can go to Kailasa's HDH Nithyananda Paramashivam Facebook page and go ahead and like and follow the page. And once you've the live session of Bhagavan Sundareshwara, you can ask your questions in the comment section of the live video. You can also ask your Instagram. You can go to the photo posted for the day announcing the live session of Bhagavan Sundareshwara and ask your questions in the comment section of the photo. And you can also ask your questions on Twitter. So you can reply to the tweet posted today announcing the live darshan with the hashtag #AskTheAvatar. And you can ask your questions on Twitter as well. And lastly, you can ask your questions on WhatsApp. So you can visit kailasa.org and you will see a WhatsApp chat box that pops up. And you can directly ask your questions to Bhagavan Sundareshwara here in the WhatsApp chat box. So there are multiple methods to ask your questions and directly be attended by Bhagavan Sundareshwara. So do not miss this opportunity. Go ahead and take a moment to like and subscribe to all of Kailasa's YouTube channels, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and all the social media platforms so you can continuously stay connected and continuously receive the blessings of Bhagavan Sundareshwara and Swamiji himself. Yes, now we will be entering into the Bhava Samadhi Darshan, Bhagavan Sundareshwara, and receive all of the blessings. Let's prepare ourselves, make sure that we are in the right space and fully understand what exactly is happening in our bodies, in our minds, our brains, when we receive Bhagavan Sundareshwara, the Bhava Samadhi Darshan, happening through the Nijavatara of the Supreme Concept of Hinduism. When we experience the Bhava Samadhi Darshan, our neurons mirror that of the avatar. So exactly our we mirror whatever is happening to the avatar, gets mirrored in us, in our entire body. So without any movement or effort from our side, we will experience the state of the avatar itself. And the Bhavasmadi Darshan is the experience of having oneness with the ultimate through a certain aspect or an attitude. So today we will be experiencing the Bhavasamadhi Darshan of Bhagavan Sundareshwara, the attitude and the aspect of playfulness of Leela. And you will have the opportunity to experience this beautiful darshan of Bhagavan Sundareshwara just a few moments. And as we prepare ourselves, you can go ahead and take a moment to offer your love, your gratitude to Bhagavan Sundareshwara. When he arrives, you can prepare some naivedyam for him, and you can offer it to Bhagavan Sundareshwara during the darshan. You can also offer a few dollars in the e-hundi through the Kailasa's HDH Nithyananda YouTube channel, the super chat and super sticker option. You can go ahead and offer your love and devotion to Bhagavan Sundareshwara. So yes, let us enter into the preparation to receive the Bhavasamadhi Darshan of Bhagavan Sundareshwara. Bhavasamadhi Darshan is not an event in space and time. Rather, darshan happens at the moment when we are lifted out of space and time. During the Bhavasamadhi Darshan, our neurons mirror that of the avatar. And bhava is defined as directing and activating the emotional and spiritual energy that is created through meditation on the avatar. The brain neurons mirror that, activate and process all the observed movements or information of the avatar just by seeing and without the physical act of imitation. That is, our entire body silently and without movement recreates what is happening distances far away, experiencing the superconscious energy radiated by the avatar. The science of Bhavasamadhi Darshan knows no distance, a phenomenon modern science is just discovering and terms as quantum tunneling. Our thoughts per second reduce significantly and we relax into the space beyond thoughts during the Bhavasamadhi Darshan. Becoming mentally at ease in coexisting dimensions beyond duality, we and the divine become one, unconditioned by the parameters of time and space. So to understand quantum tunneling, let us look at this example. It is the probability of a quantum particle like an electron with less kinetic energy to cross over the potential energy of an energy barrier. An electron acts both as a wave and a particle. So imagine a scenario, what happens when an electron with less kinetic energy is approaching a hill? Will the electron be able to cross over the potential energy, the peak of the hill? As a particle, the electron will require higher kinetic energy to cross over the potential energy of the hill, or it will roll back. However, as a wave, the electron has the ability to pass through by propagating itself through the hill and going to the other side. This is the science behind quantum tunneling, and the same science is imposed on people who witness the Bhavasamadhi Darshan. This is because our neurons are able to mirror the neurons of the divine immediately. Through quantum tunneling, we are able to travel through the divine energy and mirror that exact same neuron. Let us understand more about the science of the Bhavasamadhi Darshan. Bhagavan Krishna describes the Bhavasamadhi Darshan. When Krishna once saw his own extraordinary sweetness reflected in the jeweled wall, he was amazed and said, "Oh, how unprecedented and astonishing is this deep and indescribable sweetness of mine. Alas, when I see it, even I, just like Radhika, when I see my own sweetness in the mirror, I become eager to taste it, but I can't after due consideration. I find that the only way to relish the sweetness is through the constitution of Sri Radhika." The Bhava Samadhi Darshan is the science of the Nijavatara, manifesting Paramashiva, the consciousness, formless, expressing the being of Paramashiva through the Devi Sharira, the light body, and manifesting as a Nijavatara, the physical form, the embodied form, for us to experience Paramashiva. And in the Malini Vijayota Tantra, it describes the Bhava Samadhi Darshan by the enlightening experience and teachings of the Guru, the Katana, by the Shakti Pada, the graceful transmission of the spiritual powers from the Guru, by looking at the sacred feet of the Guru, or by the complete loving favor of the Guru. Prasad, the ultimate goal and space, the Paramapadam, is attained. So just by the Guru's grace, we can experience this Bhava Samadhi Darshan. So, for example, Devi Parashakti expresses through the being of Raja Rajeshwari and manifests as the Nijavatara, the physical form of Devi Meenakshi. And Bhagavan Paramashiva expresses through the being of Subramanya and manifests as the Nijavatara, the physical form of Bhagavan Muruga. And Bhagavan Paramashiva expresses through the being of Arunagiri Yogeshwara and manifests as the Nijavatara, the physical form of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasanidanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. And Bhagavan Parandama expresses the being of Mahavishnu and manifests as the Nijavatara, the physical form of Bhagavan Venkateshwara. And the Achavatara, the deity, reflects the consciousness and manifestation being of the superconscious energy. But human beings are not mature enough to receive the higher level experiences from the Achavatara directly. The avatar, the physical embodied form, comes down to bridge the gap and create the experience of the superconscious energy in all of us. When we have the Bhava Samadhi Darshan of the Nijavatara, manifesting being of the various dimensions of Paramashiva, the auspicious components and the powerfulness of those dimensions of Paramashiva are awakened in us. The dimension of Paramashiva manifesting in the Nijavatara for us to experience the same is Bhava Samadhi Darshan. Bhava Samadhi Darshan is the direct experience of causelessness. During the Bhava Samadhi Darshan, our being comes alive and celebrates with the energy of existence. And our very muscles learn to imbibe and radiate Paramashiva. The Bhava Samadhi Darshan is like a window to the infinite expanse of consciousness and allowing us to glimpse the formless in a way that we can understand. Even without much effort from our side, our very biomemory awakens to the space of Paramashiva, the ultimate consciousness during the Bhava Samadhi Darshan. And to have the glimpse of having darshan of the avatar cleanses the karmas of lifetime and creates a deep, lasting transformation in us. Gratitude enables a reflection of consciousness on all levels, the physical, psychological, and ultimately conscious level. The darshan meditation as a preparation helps us to fall into the space of gratitude. And it is during this time that we drop our conscious resolution, the Satya Sankalpa of anything that we want or need in our life. We be ready to reflect the consciousness of Paramashiva. That is all you need to manifest the best for your life and the lives of the people around you. So let us understand the right context to receive the Bhava Samadhi Darshan. Sit and understand, I know you are the source of everything. You are everything and you are in the embodied form of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. You are in this body. You are the source of both. Let me connect with you. Let you reveal yourself to me. Let me be in the Bhava Samadhi of you. So now let us prepare ourselves to receive the Bhava Samadhi Darshan of Bhagavan Sundareshwara. And let us enter into the Paramashiva Dhyana Mantra before we receive the darshan of Bhagavan Sundareshwara.
Nithyananda. Let us all now enter into the Paramashiva Dhyana mantra. Please sit straight with your head, neck, and spine in a straight line. The Paramashiva Dhyana mantra has been blessed by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism as a mantra diksha and means